Pepper soup is a soup that gets its name from the protein used to prepare it. When you prepare this soup with goat meat, it is goat meat pepper soup. Prepare this same soup with chicken. The name changes to chicken pepper soup. In this video, I'll be using catfish. And so, the name changes once again to catfish pepper soup. You are welcome. Let's get started. I'll be heading to the market to source for this catfish. Come with me. Here in the market, there are so many types of fish. If you don't know how to identify catfish, you can ask questions, especially if you are buying from the open market. So I bought one and I headed home. The first thing to do is to remove the slime. Never cook this fish without removing the slime. I'll be sharing different ways you can do this. You can use lemon or lime. Don't scrub for long, as the acid from the citrus fruits can tear off the skin of the catfish. You can also use garri. You can use a yellow or red garri to scrub the body of the catfish. You can also use salt. Make sure the salt is coarse. The grains can remove the slime from this fish. Another option is to go for vinegar. Add vinegar to cool water. Let this sit for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, and the slime from this fish will simply roll out. You can also use baking soda. Simply rub the fish with baking soda and then leave in a covered bowl. The baking soda will draw out the slime. You can also use alum. And finally, my best option, which is hot water. This is why I prefer hot water. Hot water will help to toughen the skin of the fish, to help stay intact and to avoid falling apart while cooking. All you have to do is to boil some hot water. Make sure it touches the skin of this fish. Let this sit for about 3 to 5 minutes and all the slime will fall off by itself. Look at this, guys. I just added hot water. I don't need to scrub the body of the fish with garri or with lemon or lime. I don't need to do this with salt. I simply added hot water. And most of this slime fell off by itself. I will simply use my bare hands to take out those that didn't fall off by itself. Isn't this simple? This is why I prefer hot water. After washing with hot water, I will now add cold water to rinse. And this is the easiest, if you may ask me. So guys, I would like to know, how do you take out the slime from your catfish? If you have any option that is not listed in this video, please let us know in the comment section. There is love in sharing. So I listed 7 ways you can take out this slime, and of course my best is hot water. I will be using some peppers. This is Scotch bonnet pepper and cayenne pepper. Remember, this is pepper soup. I'll be taking out the seed from the cayenne pepper. This particular one here will be blended, while this I'll be chopping it. The blended one will help to give it a kind of color, while this I will be chopping it. So guys, here is the blended peppers, while here is the one I simply chopped. Okay, you'll be seeing the difference. Make sure you prepare your catfish this way and let me know if you loved it. I'll be using a medium onions. These onions will simply be chopped into smaller chunks. However you want to chop this is up to you. Back to the fish, I'll be adding it into a pot and then add the blended pepper this time. Remember, we blended some and I chopped some. Add the blended pepper, the onion, and then I will be seasoning this with seasoning cubes. This is just 2 seasoning cubes. And finally, salt. Be careful with salt. If we need more, we can add more. Be careful with salt at this time. I will add just a little water. Guys, this is very important. To start cooking this fish, we need just little water. Cover and start cooking. Don't add all the water you need at this time. This has been cooking for the past 3 to 4 minutes. I will simply turn the fish upside down. The part that was down should be up now. Turn upside down and allow to cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. While this is cooking, I rushed to my backyard to get some leaves. This is scent leaf. I'll be using it sparingly on this pepper soup. This leaf is so medicinal. It contains calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, vitamin A, which help to maintain the health of the eyes and so many other benefits. Back to the pot now, I'll be adding a tablespoon of pepper soup spice. This is in place of ehu. Oda seed and Oziza seed. If you have access to these three, you can use them. I'm adding water now. This is the water I will use to prepare this soup. Remember, we added just little water at the initial stage. This is what you should do. If you add plenty water at the initial stage, your fish might not have taste. Add little water and cook so that the fish will absorb all the seasoning. Then add water now. I'll be enjoying this with some cornmeal. This cornmeal is ready. You can also use boiled white rice, boiled yam, or just take it alone. I'll be keeping this aside. Back to my pot. I'll be adding my crayfish now. This is powdered crayfish. Like I always say in all my videos, once you're working with crayfish or anything that contains salt, never taste for salt until you must have added the ingredient that contains salt. Next is pepper. This pepper was the pepper I cut into smaller chunks. It was chopped. I'll be adding it now. This will help to give this soup a very good aesthetic view. Remember, the first one we added was to give it a kind of color. Look at the color of this pepper soup. Now I've added the one I chopped and then stir properly so that everything will be well combined, and then taste for salt. This is when you should taste for salt when we have added crayfish. When you taste for salt, when you have not added your crayfish or any ingredient that contains salt, you will be wondering why your food is so salty. Okay, so taste for salt now. If there is need for salt, add salt and let this cook for about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be chopping the vegetable. Remember how I got this vegetable from my backyard? This is it we'll be using just sparingly. Next is to add this vegetable. We just need a little. Once I add this vegetable, I will cover and let this vegetable release its scent. This is where this vegetable got its name. It is called scent leaf. Some people call it clove basil or African basil. And ta-da! This soup is ready. Guys, this was so delicious. It was served with some agidi. Agidi is simply cornmeal. You can serve this with anything of your choice, even boiled white rice. If you want to go for white yam, go for it, guys. If you just want to sip this soup, you don't want to enjoy it with anything, you just want to sip your soup and eat your fish, go for it. This soup was so delicious. Everyone that tasted it wanted more. Guys, look at it. Thanks for watching. Would you like to use goat meat or chicken to prepare this same soup? Remember, the name changes. It won't be catfish pepper soup anymore. It will be pepper soup, whatever you're preparing it with. I've made a video about how you can make this soup with chicken and goat meat. I'll be linking them in the description box below. If you are interested, you can check them out. I will see you in my next one. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Bye-bye.